So this is on all three of the main VR platforms, the Oculus, Vive and the PlayStation VR. And how does it feel kind of working on those three of those? How would you compare them?
From our side, I think they're all exceptional headsets. So they all offer, the player a really, high quality virtual reality experience, which hasn't been available until the last, 12 months, which has been amazing. So we've, designed the game to be a great experience across all three of the headsets.
And so was it developed on the Oculus originally?
That's a good question. We originally had, so when we started working on virtual reality, it was from getting an Oculus Rift in. However, we got a Sony Morpheus at the time very quickly.
Okay, yeah. Early days.
So we previously worked on a lot of PlayStation Home stuff, so we got quite a good relationship already with those guys, so they were like, hey, yeah, here's a Morpheus. So we started working on those two very quickly, and then obviously the Vive came a little bit later, but we did start, we've been working on that since. So
is there a lot of difference in developing for the different platforms, porting from one to another? Has that been a challenge?
That's probably not the best person to ask that
sure.
one. I would say I've not heard any issues from the dev team. That's probably my best thing. I know, like this build, we've been using on the Oculus, but it works equally well on the Vive. So yeah, I think we've not had any real issues with them. But yeah, I'm not probably the best authority on that one.
To hunt down a developer at some point.
Yeah.
And so this one is designed sitting down. You're using an Xbox controller, or some of the other demos we've seen around here have all been based around the motion controls. Is that something you're thinking of using? Have you looked into it at all? And
so for this particular game, we sort of consciously decided to make it a seated control experience. So what we knew about the launch day headsets is that everybody who gets one will have a controller. They will all have a headset which will enable a seated experience to be very good. So we wanted to make a game which everybody could enjoy and everybody enjoyed fully, whilst at the same time not trying to shoehorn in motion control when we hadn't designed from the offset. So we're obviously, looking at and prototyping and playing around with the motion controls every day, and it is incredible as an input method. However, for these ones, we decided to focus on the traditional controller.
Yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense. And focusing one over the other, and rather than just using motion as a gimmick and honing it in the way that you've got there. Yeah. Some of the developers we've spoken to have said there's been some issues with getting the scaling right, and we did notice when we were playing this, we sort of felt like we were maybe a child or a small person, and everything was quite big. And do you know anything about that?
So scaling in normal games, you overestimate how big it is in terms of it's about 50% larger than it is in real life. So if you push that into a normal VR game, everything looks massive. So you have to scale down to 1:1. Now, additionally, I believe I'm not the best authority, but I believe there is people see slightly different things depending on the distance between their eyes and things like that, which will mean that some people will see things as larger or out of scale than other things. But yeah, so the whole thing about it is making sure that the scale is 1:1.
That's very interesting, and look forward to seeing the finished product. Good luck with that.
Cheers.